Hi guys, my name is Deb Marnie and I'm from Aussie Maille. Welcome to our chainmail tutorial channel. Hey guys, hello, how are you? Thanks so much for popping along today and spending part of your day with us. Today I'm going to show you how to create a weave called Tripoli, which is a Byzantine variant. So it's quite a simple weave to do, but can be very effective. All right, guys, let's just jump straight into it. To make this weave, you'll use any rings that you normally would to make Byzantine. So in 20 gauge AWG, which is 0.8mm diameter wire, you would use rings that are 2.75mm. In 18 gauge AWG, which is 1.0mm diameter wire, you would use rings that are 3.5mm ID. 16 gauge AWG or 1.2mm diameter wire, rings with a ring ID of 4.25 work. And in the 14 gauge AWG, which is 1.6mm diameter wire, rings with a ring ID of 5.5 works best. And of course you would need two pairs of pliers with smooth jaws. These are pliers from our Lindstrom range. This is the stubby oblique nose pliers and this is the stubby flat nose plier. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to show this to you today in 14 gauge to show you how to build the basic unit, just because it's easier to see on the camera. So what we want to do is we just want to start up a basic Byzantine unit. So to do that, we want to start with a chain of 3 pairs of rings. So go ahead and create a chain that has 3 pairs in it. So that's just 2, 2, 2 rings in a straight chain. Okay, and just go ahead and do that now. I'm just quickly whipping that together and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so just need to close up a couple of rings. Okay, so we've got our starting chain of 3 pairs of rings, and I'm just going to grab a twist tie. If you've got a paper clip or a piece of wire, something like that, that will do the same job, that would be great. Especially if you're working in the smaller gauges, you'll need just initially that tail to hang on to. All right, so we've got our 3 pairs of rings and we're going to hold on to our work so that we've got 1 pair sitting up here on top. And we're going to flip those rings so we've got 1 either side of our chain like that, and we're going to fold them all the way back and pinch them against the start of our work there. Now usually when you do that, as you saw, these top rings tend to spread open and we can see this space right here, which is what we're looking for. If your rings haven't moved open enough for you, then just come in and move them across. That's no problem. And then you'll want to take up another open ring and we're going to feed it through that space that was exposed just there. Okay, we're going to go through both those rings. So that's the rings we folded back, making sure we pick both of them up, locking them into position, close our ring, and we want to repeat with a second ring. Okay, we always double up our rings when we're doing a Byzantine weave. Okay, so there's the beginning of your Byzantine unit. That's a half Byzantine unit, so we want to create the other side. So again, we want to start with a chain of 3 pairs. And this time, the last pair of rings that we place, that becomes the first rings in our chain. And we just want to add 2 more pairs of rings to the chain so that we've got that beginning 3 chain again. Okay, so there's the second pair. And I'm going to add 1 more pair to give us the total of 3. Okay, so there's our 3 starting pairs of rings again. So again, holding onto our work so that our top rings are loose, we flip 1 each side like that, pin it all the way back, create that space there that we need in our weave, and with another opened ring, go in and scoop through that space so that you pick up both of those rings that we folded back, close it up and double up your ring. Okay, so that's your basic Byzantine unit. Next, we want to do what we need to do to make it a Tripoli unit. So taking one of your opened rings, we want to go back to this pair of rings that are caged in the middle, okay? We're going to feed our open ring through those pairs of rings there. So just go straight through there like that. Close it up and repeat with a second ring. Okay. All right, so this is what our work currently looks like. So again, we're going to need our chain of 3 pairs of rings. So this set here in the middle, that's considered our first set of rings. This is our second set of rings. So we're going to put one more pair of rings in. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. So we've got our beginning 3 pairs of rings, see, 1, 2, 3. And again, as we did before, holding our work, we're going to flip that ring one back either side, pinch it all the way back against your work, making sure that you can separate those 2 rings up there on the top and create that space there in the middle where our next ring is going to go. Okay, so straight through that space, picking up the 2 rings that you folded back, close your ring up, and then repeat with a second. Okay, so that there is the basic Tripoli unit. Now you can continue to make the chain the length that you need for your necklace, your bracelet, your anklet, whatever it is. You can use one of these units to make a pair of earrings. But this is just the basic unit. And if you hang around, I'll show you some alternative pieces that I've finished that you can, some ideas that you can use with the Tripoli unit. Okay, so I've just got some bracelet lengths made using the Tripoli in the different gauges with some couple of variations with them. So this one here is the 14 gauge, 1.6mm diameter wire, 5.5mm ID. You can see that I've created the Tripoli units and then just stuck a simple 222 chain in there to separate the units out. In our 16 gauge version, the 1.2mm diameter wire, 4.25mm ID, I have just made a continuous chain here of the Tripoli units, so there's no break in those units. This one here is in 18 gauge AWG, 1.0mm diameter wire, 3.5 for the Tripoli units. And you can see here, not only have I stuck a little Mobius flower in between them, but I've also alternated the side that the Tripoli unit is on. So it just gives it a slightly different look. And then in the 20 gauge, 0.8mm, 2.75mm ID, I've just created the Tripoli look with every other Byzantine unit. So you can see I've missed one here and I've put the Tripoli unit in next. So Tripoli really lends itself beautifully to beads. You can dangle some beads off the end of here. You can make a single unit, add your ear post or ear wire up the top, dangle some beads off, it looks great. You could also run lengths of chain. So if I was doing that, I would run, you know, a chain, say from here to here, then cross them over from here to here and just alternate along. You could, there's actually quite a lot to do with this. I think this weave looks beautifully as anklets because you've got that one side that hangs down, that would hang down towards your foot, and you could have your beads or your bells or something coming off that. It makes a lovely necklace as well with the same look, again with the beads and the chain hanging off your Tripoli units. So you can do quite a lot with the individual units. As I said, it's just a simple Byzantine variation, so it's not difficult to do, and generally can be done with any ring that you would use to make Byzantine with normally. Anyway, I hope that gives you a few ideas of what you can do with this very versatile unit. Well, that's it guys, that's the tutorial for today. I hope you found the tutorial interesting and helpful, and that you enjoyed our suggestions for pieces that you can make with the weave. If you did enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up here, share our video, leave some comments or any questions you may have below. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you really enjoyed the video and you'd like to offer us some support and you aren't a subscriber yet of Aussie Maille, then please do so, and while you're there, don't forget to hit the bell so that you'll get all the notifications every time we upload new content here. While you're here, don't forget to check out all our other tutorials. We've got over 150 tutorials at time of recording for you to look through, so I'm sure you'll find something that you're interested in. And last but not least, don't forget our little link up here in the corner for our shop. That's where we sell all the rings and components and tools that you will ever need to make these tutorials up. Alright guys, thanks again for your time and your support, and I hope to catch you again sometime in the very near future. Bye!